In the escape pod room, as usual.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
Your survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city. I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Vol's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Eladin's water purifier can't keep up with demand. They're requesting one of those Angaran ionic filters. There are engineers who work in the aqueducts here. I'll bet they have what we need.
On it. One filter coming up. You work on the solar panels. Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Anything else you need, Suvi? Pathfinder.
You can find in
You got it. I feel so out of place here. People keep staring at me. I can't tell if they're fascinated or afraid.
Maybe they've all got huge crushes on you.
Ryder, that's a little far-fetched.
I don't think so. Everyone wants a spiky girlfriend.
Sure, Ryder.
Take advantage of a rare surplus. This set isn't complete, but you could finish that.
Welcome
sheet I
back.
dropped off a few some-
It'll be a good match. I put it in storage, but I'll send someone to bring it in. What's this?
I'm not selling to aliens.
Weird question. You don't have any quinoa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
Pathfinder.
Do you work on water filtration here?
I designed the system for it.
Can you sell me an ionic filter? My people need it on Eladin.
If they're tough enough for Eladin, they deserve help. Here.
Think we'll see more of them.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I know what it's like, jumping out of the cryopod and into the fire.
You've had it far worse. My condolences on your loss. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
I'm not going to like this, am I?
No more than I do. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
Pathfinder. Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating, and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
He's off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
That's a weird thing to say. How'd he threaten you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was the big gun he was carrying? He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but dial it down. We're guests here.
Exactly. We shouldn't have to put up with this. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters, see if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
What about you, Lavelle? Empress says we've got a green shot. I believe you.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Increase your odds of survival. Wear armor.
Supplies have been tight, so we haven't been able to send out as much as we'd like.
I was going to offer to make space to take back whatever was available, but I guess it won't be needed.
Let me check just in case.
Ferran would be happier sending one box than nothing.
Ambassador Realis said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. Need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
I managed to find an ionic filter for Elodin. Make sure they get it.
I'll get this delivered right away. They'll be relieved to have enough water.
Sam, what's this?
The decontamination console for visitors to the med center. Touch the start pad to use it.
How can I help?
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
When you do the attack, here's the let me know if you would.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me?
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
You lost someone you cared about. Was it because of the Vassal?
That's one way to see it. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
I believe you, and I'm sorry for your loss. Between us, that botanist is kind of a jerk.
He didn't fear my anger. I respect that.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
You're back.
Director Tan wasn't thrilled with the results of the Nexus exchange, but I appreciate your help regardless. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya.
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Oh, we have to do something.
We could let Angara who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director Tan immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything. I love seeing our Milky Way peeps mingling with the Angara. It's early in our interspecies relationship, but I hope we can build on the momentum.
Any one of a million things could happen, and whoops, The neighbors hate us.
So, don't go joyriding with the Nomad, huh? Obey the street signs? You're doing a great job. Really. Keep up the good work. Ryder.
If should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's she doing here?
Relax, I was invited.
So it's true. Aya has opened its doors to outsiders.
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. She risked her life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
Whoever Axel was, he's dangerous now.
Pathfinder, please help him.
I don't think he'll let me.
I can't let him go. Not yet.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found a device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
When you put it like that, it doesn't sound so impossible.
Don't make light. You're venturing to a place of horrors you cannot imagine. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Evra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
I spoke to Ven. He had no regrets.
We know Ven was hardly contrite at his execution.
I wasn't there.
What he did was inexcusable, not unforgivable. This isn't what I wanted. Regardless, it's done.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. Avele comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Maya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
When the Kett are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare. Ephra informed me that the despot of Kadara Port, one of your people, executed Ven Terev.
Sloane isn't with my people, and she doesn't speak for us.
Her actions spoke loud enough. She had no right to kill Ven. What he did was inexcusable, not unforgivable. This isn't what I wanted. Regardless, it's done.
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
I picked this up. Any idea what it might be?
How in the skies did you find an Angaran star map? One that still works, even. It must be pre-Scourge. If we analyze it, we can learn where our people traveled before the Dark Age.
Aren't star maps usually bigger?
An Angaran star map isn't used for navigation. It acts as a log of where its owner traveled. This one's data is locked, but Aelin can decrypt it for me.
I picked up this figure earlier. It might be Angaran.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
If I'd known what a big deal it was, I would have let it ride shotgun.
No harm done. It's seen centuries of wear. One bumpy ride won't change much.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
Ryder, Vetra wanted you to check in when you can.
Hey,
Can I see you in the med bay?
Be careful around the ship, okay?
Need something?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Your Moshi's tough. Reminds me of my mom. Is she the heart of your community as well? She never had to stand her ground against the phalanx of Ket. But she put up with me.
Heroic efforts all around.
You dig.
Pirates, exiles, severed heads. Kadara Port's a peach, huh? And Sloane Kelly is the pit. Anything you needed?
Any more Commando war stories?
That's all I can share, anyway. I miss them.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Damn it, Sid.
What's going on?
I get influence with power players, only to have it squandered by a sister calling in favors under my name. Do you know she got the genome for... oh, what is it? Cats. Pulled from storage. 1, there's no place to grow anything right now. 2, it seems they aren't even a food. So why?
Lots of people love cats. They make them happy.
I don't think we're in a position to put amusement over necessities. She just doesn't think. Tries to help everyone, damn the consequences. And she thinks what we do is so exciting, but doesn't really understand what it takes.
Because what we do is exciting. We make people's lives better.
You make it sound so wonderful. We see some real shit.
But we don't quit because what we do matters.
It does, doesn't it? Even on the worst days, knowing we make a difference.
To make a difference is probably all Sid wants.
But what if she gets herself into another mess? What if she gets hurt?
Whatever happens, I'm here for the both of you. I care about Sid, because I care about you.
Ryder, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. How about I let you get back to work?
Still thinking about the Turian Ark, Mason and Avidus. I hope Avidus is doing all right.
After losing someone like that, can anyone ever be all right?
I hope he... What did Dad used to say? Looks to those who look to him, and together be uplifted. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that.
So why weren't you on the Turian Ark?
Our dad left Palaven with us long before the Ark even existed. I don't know if we really count as members of Turian society anymore. But who needs all those rules anyway, right?
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
simple attack. If someone's willing to risk attacking Prodromos, your first outpost...
They're trying to make a point. That's the last we heard? Nothing else?
No rider, but also no alarms. The orbital buoy isn't showing any major traffic. Bradley's military, all about the prep. I bet it's a brownout to present less of a target.
Keep the nav fresh. I'll be on the bridge soon.
Understood.
Ready to fly, Path. What the?
Find something?
Something pinged us. An ID request. The Tempest auto-responded.
We'll keep an eye out in the sector.
Descent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
Sorry to keep you in the dark, Pathfinder, but there are eyes on this planet.
We didn't see much traffic from orbit.
It's there. But hopefully you can get ahead of this before it turns into something bad. See you soon. Thanks for coming. Knew you'd be up for it.
I need answers. You said there were hostiles inbound.
We've had raids. With all our scientific gizmos, we expected pirates. But not this.
4-5, repeat. Stockpile complete. Waiting for beacon. Launch on detection. Repeat. 1, 2, 3.
I came a long way to hear that.
Here's my worry. Maybe the raids we've seen were just a decoy, so someone could do a slow tactical build-up in the Black Rock.
Tactical? You mean military?
I mean Rokar. That's why I called you instead of raising the alarm. An attack on our first outpost? Can you imagine how the Nexus would react? That's what the Rokar want. I'm nobody's fool.
Eos has been through enough. We'll put a stop to whatever this is.
I knew you would. I hope I'm wrong, Pathfinder. I didn't want to bring this kind of thinking to Andromeda. Head to Black Rock Tand. I'll transmit the nav point for the signal.
Almost at Blackrock Tand.
Ryder, there is no doubt it's a Rokar signal.
Understood. Eyes open.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Bradley was right. Rokar on site.
Monitoring. They'll hold some in reserve.
Understood. Jal, are we clear?
You're clear. Still reading Bradley's signal.
Right. Let's see what they were protecting.
Be careful. I doubt this was about piracy.
Here they come!
This signal can call dropships to a precise location.
A Rokar strategy, Ryder. The scout would have placed the beacon in the center of Prodromos.
Telling Aksul exactly where to strike.
Bradley, Blackrock was a Rokar scout with a homing beacon.
Shit. Glad you put an end to that.
I'm not walking away. This is my house.
Not sure what you're asking, Pathfinder. We can't risk our first outpost.
Not like the first two.
Promise and resilience.
What are you planning?
If they want to attack an outpost, we'll use their beacon and let them. Then finish the job.
The comm array at Site 2 is still intact. You could broadcast from there.
Everyone got that? Rokar welcoming party at Site 2. Here they come!
Target's down! That's teamwork.
have a location for this Rokar beacon?
Yes, Pathfinder. Nav point marked for Rokar signal upload.
Be ready. It'll draw them right to you.
We know this place. They don't.
And they won't.
Starting Rokar signal upload.
Now might be a good time to take cover.
Human, I told you you'd know soon enough. The beacon is live. You couldn't stop our scouts.
They've bought it. Hold until they're on the ground.
Holding.
Nice work. Keep up the pressure.
This site is a decoy. Rally at these coordinates.
Aksu! The Pathfinder is coming! Marvelous! Everyone prepare to defend!
Sounds like they're losing their support.
I'll remember this. We're not finished.
You are today, and we'll be ready next time. Come to Prodromos, Pathfinder. We owe you. Again. Pathfinder?
The Rokar attack is over.
We'll know what to watch for in the future. It can't just be this old man and his hunches. Special thanks to our friend Jarl. It helps to show we're not all on opposite sides.
We can't assume anyone could be an enemy. That's no way to live.
We're not planning on it.
How's the team holding up?
A little shell-shocked. Can't blame them.
Maybe I should say something?
If you like.
I just want to say, I'm sorry. You're colonists, explorers. We came here to live, not fight. It shouldn't have happened, and I'm sorry it got this far. I'm sorry.
So, when do we get back to work?
No apology asked or expected. We lose sometimes, but if they have the choice to keep going, they'll take it. This wasn't a good day, but it was another day. You gave them that. Your people, Ryder.